Hello and welcome back to Stationers. My name is Bigfoot and we're back playing our new Vulcan save. It is currently day 55. It is nighttime, per usual. Looks like it'll be morning time soon-ish. So we have a lot to do and no time to do it. Today we are totally going to finish up the atmospheric patio and get the water going. And we're totally not going to get distracted. So I did a couple of things in between episodes. I did a little bit of printing on a couple of things. I printed a fridge. I added a tank back there so that when I drop this guy in here, I can get a little bit more air out of it instead of having to wait a while. How are we doing on water? It's been a while since I've checked. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. But we're getting there. Alright, so fridge. As I thought it was not going to fit in that corner, however, we can just go ahead and move this. In the pocket, thank you. Okay, so we're going to have to go over one more. And then we can reattach our instruments. Instruments of food preparation, also known as appliances. Okay. Wire you back in. You have back up 2 times, and then just keep on going. There we go. Power is on that side. Be able to put you there. I'm gonna have to go around. Power should be there. Yes. On. Ta-da! Hey, I'll go ahead and eat you. Alright. Now we have a fridge. Now we can start storing our stuff in the fridge. For the moment, we can just put flour in there. It's not necessary to put the stuff in there. It doesn't expire. That's fine. We could bust out our eggs. Let's see if that's done anything for us. We do have some ferns we could put in there, though. Those are getting damaged. Decaying slowly. Let's check on our... Oh, yeah. I had a feeling that they were gonna be nasty. I wonder why the room stink. Now the fridge can stink. Okay. A few more seeds up in here. Interesting. Why is that not all stacked already? But that's okay. I don't need you guys. Goodbye. Hooray. What was I saying about not getting distracted? Right. So since we do play on the beta, there are some interesting things that they have added to the game. We now have some barriers and some signs. Now these are all dynamic objects, so unfortunately I can't really put them outside. And we do have a larger cardboard box, which has more slots than the other one. I think the other basic one is 6. So that's pretty cool. These barriers, you can just pick them up, move them around like you would like AC or portable scrubber, that kind of thing. So yeah, but they will blow away in a storm, which is unfortunate. The things that I made a bunch of pipes, some radiators, some other valves. That's all we need. And we do have a trader sitting on the pad that we need to go talk to and see what's happening. Also on beta, we have more basic trader slots. I think there's 6 now instead of 3 total. Or no, I apologize. There's 2 slots instead of just 1 with 3 total. So now I think there's 5 or 6 total slots. I'll have to go back and check on that, but and then they also have an exotics trader, which will always have interesting things that can spawn outside of the normal slots, so that you can get the better stuff more easily. Alright, so he wants a bunch of alloys and some steel. Don't really want to sell him that stuff, and he wants a chocolate cake, which we can make, and some water. Don't think it's really worth hanging on to this guy. Yeah. Go on, get out of here. Alright, so now we are collecting oxygen. We have this guy. We can set up a pipe here with the medium radiator, so that if it is nighttime and it is too hot, we can go ahead and vent the release the heat to the atmosphere, and then we don't have to worry about it. So that'll get us down to 128 C, and I forget what I need for you. Steel sheet, I have that. Okay. Perfect. So then we'll be able to vent that, or sorry, release the heat to the atmosphere at night, getting our oxygen down to a somewhat reasonable temperature, and then we will need to... We could just pipe it into the oxygen tank over here. We are not cooling this anywhere, I don't think. Coming out that way, we have oxygen going out this way. So we could... Be hard to get it past all this other stuff. So we could put down a couple more frames, we could put down a large heat exchanger, or just pump it straight in there. But then we would have to cool down our oxygen supply, which would probably not be a bad idea anyways, because that's at like 35 degrees, and if it gets hot, well, then it'll burn our lungs. I will think about that. Let's go ahead and wire this guy in here. And then this one is going to be hot O2 cool valve. And then need to wire up the tank so we know what the temperature in the system is. There we go. And then you are going to be the hot O2 tank. Alright, let's head back inside and get this programmed up. So we have these road signs. I should probably put some signs next to all the safety hazards in here. That one does not return a kit. That's annoying. Let's see, if we put this one, we'll put this one right here. Probably interfere with the dish. Let's see, the sharp corner is a safety hazard. high voltage. You know, we have trip hazards. Yeah. There we go. This one can just live, so you can just live up there. All right, it'd probably be nice to have some overhead lockers. Do I have any iron? I've got a little bit. Okay, so now, the overhead lockers, they tried to update them a while ago so that it would actually cut out into the frame. Unfortunately, they did not fix it back to the free placement overhead. However, you can use the short locker instead. Put you up there, you up there. Then I can rotate you around. Yep, I don't want to block the inlet, and then I can have you right there. All right, so they're just kind of standing on the machine, I guess you could say. They do have a bunch of space in the back, but hey, more storage is better anyway, right? So we can just put a few things up and around. We could just say this is the atmospheric one, this is building supplies, this one is garbage. Goodbye. You are not needed. We can put some supplies up here. There we go. Come here. Come here. Your atmospherics. And then I guess we can just have that one be maybe ingots. Sure, why not? Keep them from rolling around everywhere. Alright, a little more organization, nice. Distracted again. We do need to get some better hot air into the furnace. Yeah, trying to make silicone was a real pain. It used pretty much all of the hot air that we had collected, and barely got there. So, we're gonna have to work on that. All right, let's go do some programming. Okay. Fill our tank. We'll pop a fart in the room. And where's my laptop? There it is. So grab you, import you. A couple of things that we want to do. I think I'm going to lower this down. It's a little bit warm for the plants. So if I say, let's make this 298, which is 25C, and then we'll do 30C on the high end. It should be 303. See. All right, so that's gonna just chill the room down a little bit more, make the plants a little bit happier and grow faster. Okay, so if our ratio of oxygen in the room is higher than 40%, then go ahead and remove it. That's our temperature. Oh, that's the CO2. Okay, so this is the harvesting. Harvesting air. turning on our grow light. It's dealing with our water. Now for the water, we'll just start with something small. Let's go 50 liters. So if it's less than 50 liters, no, that's not right. Oh, right, that's the gas mixing. Gas mixing. Ah, here it is. So this is the number of liters that we're targeting. So if we want to, I just want to test the system by having just a low amount of liters. So if we get 50 liters in the tank, then everything should turn off. We shall see. Okay, so now if the H2O filter is on, we also want to turn on where are you setting the mode? Hungry and thirsty. There it is. Set batch name filter. This is going to be a hash, and it's going to be hot O2 filtration. I don't know if I named that or not. Mode 0, and then same here too. So that should be R0, R0, and R0. So right now we're just setting everything.
Hunger critical.
Right now we're just setting everything to get it ready. Okay, I don't remember what I named that, so let me go check. I have a suit on. There is a new feature with the occupancy sensor that allows you to detect if somebody or what equipment is in their slots. So I should be able to now, via the IC10, make it so that if I'm not wearing a suit, that the airlocks are deactivated, so that you can't accidentally do that. Alright, so you were the hot O2 filtration. I did forget to name you. Did I name you? Yes. I named you? Yes. Okay. Alright, so now let's come down here. Okay, so we're setting those guys to mode 0 for now. So to activate this thing, I just need to, yeah, I'll just change it to R0. I was gonna say I could change it to 1, but that's just a display glitch. I don't know why it works down here, but not up here. It's kind of weird. And it works down here, but not here for some reason. Okay, so now we are going to load into, do I have tank? I do have tank defined. So if we load into R0 from tank, this has to be load batch. Load batch into R0 from the tank, and we need the hash. Whoops. Oi, oi, oi. Hot O2 tank. Let's get the pressure. Nope. Temperature. And we need the maximum. Now, if that is greater than the outside temperature, already have R10, but we can't check that because it's giving us just a 1. That's so annoying. Fine. If it's greater than R0 is greater than 401.15, which is 128C, then set the cool valve on if the outside R10 is giving us the outside temperature. So if the outside temperature is greater than that, so if if it's less than, okay, I thought it was greater than for some reason. All right, so if R0 is greater than R10, R10. It just does not like it that line. I can put R10 down here and that one anyway. Let's see. So if the temperature in the tank is greater than 401, then that's going to give us a 1. If it's less than the outside temperature, and that, yeah, that's what we want. So now we're going to set batch. This is a valve, and it is going to be the hot O2 hot O2 cool valve on, and we pass that R0. Okay, so we should know if we're making water, we're turning on the water filter and the oxygen filter. And then the oxygen filter will turn on and vent the heat out. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so when we're turning on the combustor, we're turning on the water filter, the oxygen filter. The filter for the oxygen is putting it into that O2 tank over there. And when it's nighttime, it's venting that extra heat out to cool that down, and then we can actually pump that back into here. So I need to get another direct heat exchanger and connect that to that oxygen to the heat exchanger so that we can temper our oxygen. There I go, forgetting my suit again. Let's go ahead and wear that guy. Yeah, we're still doing good. Now, because we have full power, I'm pretty sure that these solar panels are not damaged, but we'll just check those real quick. Yep, health 100%, excellent. We did all that dirty wiring up there, but it seems to be helping. Okay, so now if I put you up there, and then I put the large industrial exchanger up here, I can put oxygen up to that, and then I can get the cold air from this guy. And corner piece. There we go. I'll actually make that where the valve goes. Just because. Turn you around. Makes it easier to connect.
Jetpack low.
Uh-oh. Stay with me, jetpack. Not time for you to go away. Okay, now I believe I need pipe, and then I think steel sheet. Okay, now you are going to be the O2 cool valve. And then I wanted to double check the name on this guy. This was hot O2 cool valve. Yeah, I think that's right. This place is hard to walk around on. My goodness. Good. And then oxygen, I could just run you up there. And you are the oxygen line, right? Yes, you are. Go into the liquid line, so you'll have to go up. You go down, and you. Nice. Okay, so I need a pipe, and I believe some steel sheets. F1, and I go direct heat exchanger, gas and gas, and I need one pipe and one steel sheet. Okay, so we are good. Okay, so I believe a wrench. Yep. And then welding torch. Perfect. Alright, so now we have the ability to temper our water. Or excuse me, our oxygen. O2 cool valve. But I don't think we have any other O2 cool valves, so that shouldn't get mixed up with anything. Bum, 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 bum. Yep, doesn't look like it. Excellent. Okay, so we are just about ready to export this. Let's just make sure everything is good to go. Ratio of oxygen, that's carbon dioxide. It's a combustor. Load it, batch into, actually it's oxygen tank on the pen. Oxygen filter, CO2 pump, no. So load batch into R0 from tank. It's going to be the tank hash. We should just be O2 tank. And then I want the temperature. Temperature. Yes. And if the temperature in there is greater than, let's say, 45C, which would be 318.15, which would be 318.15, which is wow. Okay, so R0, if R0 is greater than 318.15, which is 35C, I believe, which is 45C, then I want to set the valve, which is the O2 cool valve, on an R0. But we only want to be doing cooling at night. We could say if the air yeah, we just do an and R0, R0, and R10. So if it's nighttime, then we can just turn on the cooling. Yes. Now we should do another check in here though. If the greenhouse room cool valve is on, then we do not want to have the other cool valves on, because we want that one to be on all the time or have priority. So we could just say load into, say, like R11 from the cool valve on. So now we're storing that value. So then that's hydration. Okay, so anytime that we're dealing with a cool valve, buster, water tank, turning on filtration, we just add another check in here, and R0, R0, and R11. But we change that to OR. Okay, so up here where we're loading in the value of the cool valve, whether or not it is on, we need to take the opposite of that. So, is that not equal? Yeah, okay, so up here, where we're taking in the value of the cool valve, we're checking to see if it's on or off, but we need opposite of that. So we need to check if it's equal to 0. If it's 0, then it's 1, which means the rest of the stuff can turn on. So right there we're checking for R11, and then here we also need to add into R11. We need to eat and drink again. Getting stinky in the suit. We don't need to be wearing that while we're doing some coding. Okay, where else are we checking the cool valve? So water cool valve on. So again here, 0R0 and R11. This is the cool valve. 0R011. Probably should just copy pasta this, but that's okay. R0, R011. Okay. So if the room cool valve is on, then I don't want to do any of the other cooling. The AC should just work straight on that alone. Perfect. Now, that's a lot of extra code, so this is probably going to error out. Where did we screw up? We screwed up on line 85. What is it saying about line 85? Incorrect argument count at line 85. Load batch into that. So device hash tank. Logic type is temperature and mode. You're just a liquid tank, and I was going based off of that, but we need a batch name. That's what we need. And then your load batch name too. Yep, I think that should work. Export all of you. Now we're going backwards. 984. That was the test I was looking at for the syntax. That's my bad on that one. Okay, line 88. Batch name, set batch name. Oh, 90, my goodness. So many errors. Load batch name. Hash name. Oh. Maximum. Are you good? You're still not good. My goodness, 89 now. And you guys are all probably yelling at me like, what are you doing? Okay, can we be error free now? Yay! We're error free. Alright, so probably only want to make oxygen, or sorry, make water when the oxygen in that tank is over like 1 megapascal. So that might be a thing that we do. Come down here to the combustor, wherever that is. Harvesting error. Combustor. Okay, so here's where we're turning it on. If it's nighttime and there's less than 50 liters in the tank, then we want to turn you on. But we also want to know this has to be load batch name because we just remembered that. Let's just copy this down here. O2 tank. but we're going to use pressure. Take the maximum amount of pressure, and then if it is greater than, we'll just do 1 megapascal. Then feel free to make water. Yes. Because I want to make sure that I have oxygen to breathe. That's kind of important. So then if I and that in there, this needs to be something else. So then if I and into R0 from R1 and R0. Okay, so if both of those are true, then we set this to R0. Okay, so you're good. Man, I am nervous. That is so many moving components. Well, we need to make water and we just need to bite that bullet. So it is time now. It is time to make the water. There's a lot of different parameters, checks, balances, cooling. Alright, you should not be making water now. Let's go make sure. Goodness, I should have stayed in my suit for this. Run, run, run. Okay, so you're idle. Good. You're fine. You're idle. Good. You're supposed to be on. Idle. Good. Okay, let me go make another oxygen filter just in case. 93, 100%. You guys are doing good. You're fine. You're at 0. Wow. I'll get another one of those. Something is on. We have a coolant leak somewhere.
Waste tank caution.
Is the room trying to cool down? That's not good.
Hunger critical.
I passed it. Okay, why are you not on? That's troubling. I'm gonna have to look at you, see what is up with that. You should be running. If your temperature, because it's nighttime, your temperature should be high. There you go. Now you're working. All right. Grab you. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. You go there. Good. Okay. We have fuel. We have volatiles. We have oxygen. We don't have enough oxygen. That check is working at least. Well, I guess I'll lower it to 600 kPa, but let me grab my laptop and see why you are not turning it on. Alright, so our issue right now with making water is that we don't have enough oxygen, so we can lower that down. Let's just go to like 650 kPa. That way we can at least see if the system is going to activate. You there, and I grab you, and I go here. Make sure that we're importing and not exporting by accident, because that would really suck. Okay, now down, let's see, where is it at? The temperature, oh, we want the pressure, which would be right here. Pressure, 650 kPa.
Air tank low.
Minimum pressure for activation. Okay, now if I export that, click you on there, it's going to start running,
Air tank critical.
which is fine. Okay, ate a potato, got rid of the heavy breathing. So now you turned on, I believe. You guys have already filtered out all of that. Nope, you guys did not turn on. Put you down at 650 kPa. Why did you not turn on? Ba-dum bum bum bum. Using pressure for some reason. Probably just cooling down. You're not cooling down from in there. So right here we could say, oh, here's probably the problem. That would be the problem. We're comparing that to 650, so that would never be true. That was the problem. So now this should activate. Run, run, run. Really probably should have moved that chip in a place that I could have activated it outside. Not that I want to stand outside while programming, but now it is idle again, most likely because it is not nighttime anymore. So now we'll have to wait till nighttime to see if that did anything, or will do anything. Oy. Okay. Well, time to get distracted, I guess. Don't have a trader.
Jetpack low.
Okay, now let's go ahead, since it's nighttime, or daytime, excuse me, let's go ahead and get this airlock functional. I haven't renamed anything. Renamed some of it. Inner vent. So you would be the outer vent. You're the outer door. You're the gas sensor, so you would be the outer vent, outer door, inner vent. This is going to be a 0. And we can just have that go like 20. There we go. Okay, so now we have some wheat seeds. Yes. Excellent. Guess I really should get like a stacker in here. I could put it somewhere. Maybe over here in the corner. That way I can stack all the flour. Percent. A little bummer about the eggs, but yeah. I forgot that I set that up automatically. Okay, it's plus 128 and you're not on. I know I don't have 50 liters in here. I have none. Why are you not working? Is O2 tank named O2 tank? You are named O2 tank. Is O2 tank hooked up to O2 tank network? It is not. That is the problem. Right now it is basically giving us a 0 or nil. So we need to go this way. This way. And this way. You did turn on, yay! You are empty as you should be. You are still active, but you have no gas. It's fine. Gas is not exactly perfect, but it's okay. Excellent. We have water in you. You are not... Yes, you are. Okay, good. Active, active, active. I'm fine with that being empty. Kind of wish that was. It's not using too much. Food mixture is not quite right, but that's alright. I don't expect it to be perfect. But I do want to set up something so it turns on and off. Only about 1 megapascal in there. Okay. Now you should be... filling up in here. You should be emptying. You should be on. So that is going to be a problem. Obviously, we're not doing much with that. Oops, 2 megapascals. We're still active. We're pulling out all the oxygen, all the H2O. It is building up in pressure, but it's not terrible. Good, we are condensing down a little bit of water. You guys are supposed to be open. That's definitely a problem.
Hunger caution.
Are you reading the wrong item? I should be reading the temperature on the H2O filter for that valve there. Now, one thing I could do is route this really hot gas. We can just take this all the way around and pipe it up into our hot tank. That might be something that we can do. A little bit resource intensive, but it's not too bad. All right, so all of you have idled out now. But I do want to put a check on these, that if there is something in the input side, that it should continue to stay on. My goodness. I don't like having that much fuel just laying around, but that's okay. Alright, so we have a couple of things that we need to do. We need to figure out why both of these are turning on and off. So it's water HT cool valve and your water LT cool valve. And that's based on the temperature from the output of the H2O filtration. So that's what we need to work on. And then of course now it's going to be daytime and we won't be able to see what we're actually doing, or if changes made any effect. Okay, so that's checking that, which is fine. I don't need R1 anymore. I don't need this comment. I don't need this one. And I don't need this one. So all those are working. But what we want to do is here we need to see if the load batch name into, we're going to reuse R1. And like this R2, just for ease of reading. This is the filter, and this will just do hot filter. We'll just copy this, copy that hash. So name hash, the pressure input, and set greater than. It's not equal to 0. Basically, if there's any pressure in there, we want to just go ahead and get that up. We want it to keep running. Now, if I say, if I OR that, yeah, so if either of, so both of these conditions need to be true, So it needs to be less than 50. We need to have more than 650 kPa. If that's true, then turn it on. And we're going to say if there's pressure in there, we want to turn it on as well. We don't want to turn on a combustor, but we want to turn on the filter. So if we OR into R0 from R0, if either R0 or R2 are true, then go ahead and do that. Now we gotta copy paste this again. We still have plenty of lines. Where are we? Right here. Okay, but you're gonna be H2O filtration. Yep. And this guy. Oh, come on. Copy, not cut. Okay, so if either of those are good, then
Hydration critical.
yep. Okay, export you. We have an error. Let's address that and correct 69. Nice. What did I forget? Bias hash is filter logic type. Oh, got the batch mode. Maximum. Export you. You are nice and green. All right. Now looking at the
Hunger critical.
okay, so that's an easy fix there. So if we have 1 megapascal, go ahead and switch the mixer on. That's no problem. Export you. You're good. Make sure you're not on. I don't want you blowing up. You're good. Okay, now where are we at on those cool valves? So we should be taking the temperature here. dB setting R0. So what is the temperature of the output pipe on the H2O filter? Set, not a set batch. It is really hot. Are you running right now? Why are you guys active? I don't understand. Are you active? You should not be active. Oh, need to give you a different number then. You should be R2. You should be R2. And the combustor should be R0. Okay, so now you should have turned off. You did. You were idle now. You were idle now. Okay. You are good. You're over. You are going to kick back on. We've got 2 megapascals of really hotness. Let's see if we can figure out this cooling issue. Back and forth, back and forth. Do I have potatoes? Maybe. Don't have any in there. Ding. Okay, so it looked like we were doing okay for that. Probably don't even need to check. Could save some lines if I need to. Just check if input has pressure and turn on. Oh, we could save ourselves some lines if we needed to deal with that. Or we could just do it. Just delete this line. And delete this line. If there's pressure, it's not equal to 0, then turn it on. Then we set the combustor on. Now, I guess we could move this above. I like to have the filtrations on before we turn on the combustor, but in this case, it'd just be easier to do it that way. Alright, so now, why is this not working? Put greater than to R1. If R0 is greater than 401, and it's nighttime, and the other valve isn't on. but we're not using R1 again. I do want that to be R1, but I want this to be R1. Okay, so if the temperature on the filter side is greater than 401, then that's going to be a 1. If it's nighttime and the cool valve for the greenhouse isn't on, then turn on. I don't need that check for the high temp. So if it's nighttime, just turn on, because, yeah. Now, this one we do need the outside. And that. R10 is giving us a 1, so that's not going to work. So what we need here is we need to go... just need to pull this. So if this is less than 128 degrees and is nighttime, and the other valve isn't on for our AC, for our greenhouse, so that we can use the AC, then turn that on. Yep, that should work a lot better. Come here. Okay, export you, put you back, no errors, nice. I am out of battery. Okay, we have food, we have water, let's grab a little oxygen.
Anti-critical.
Okay, now. So you are active. You're going crazy because you're trying to maintain 1 megapascal. That's perfectly fine. I don't care. You're out here. I can't hear you clicking like crazy. You have pressure, so you're on. You have pressure, so you're on. Yep. It is nighttime, so you are trying to get rid of the heat in the oxygen. Perfect. Now you are both on, which is not ideal. Which means, oh, that's actually coping. I mean, it really shouldn't be, but it is coping for some reason. But you're not supposed to be on. Okay, sun is starting to rise, so things are turning off. Actually, let me make sure that stuff started cycling down. I want to make sure that this turns off, which it did. You're off, because you have no more pressure. You have no more pressure, good. Okay, so we are just collecting like really super hot water. It's just becoming steam. Which is telling me that the water valve, water cooling valve, is not working. See if we can get up there. I hate trying to walk on these stupid tanks. Oh, Jesus. Water cool valve. You are being controlled, but not very well. Minus 53, minus 53. Okay, so two things we gotta check out. Water. Okay, so two last bugs that we gotta iron out of this program. Why is the low temperature cooling coming on? And then why is the water cooling valve not turning on? They were supposed to be R1. Okay, so that should fix that. Now, this one, load into the water tank the temperature. If our water in our tank is over 330 degrees, and it's nighttime, and the cooling valve's not on, then we should be able to turn on water cool valve. So this should be working. Which means since I'm not getting anything, I'm pretty sure I connected that water tank. Where's your data port? Your data port is there. You are connected. What are you named? You are just water tank. Bring this around here. So this is just going to be the start of our hot pipe. Bring this around. Do and do. Alright, so we still need to wrap this all the way around here, all the way over to here, so that we can pull that that hot air. So we're gonna pump that into the hot tank over there. Should be a little bit better than collecting the daytime air, and that'll at least help out with the furnace. And if we have extra gas, then maybe we'll put it into Stirling or something. Let me go make on while it's still daytime. So we're getting there, but it's not quite nighttime yet. So we're gonna want to go this way. I guess we can just go down there. Tink, tink, tink. Okay, so you are all furnace. You should be furnace cable. Yes, you are. And if I put the pump right on here. Guess I will need a turbo pump. Yep. You're not going to work because the furnace is trying to turn on and off the pumps with the lever. I ran into that on my last series. I think I remember that. Alright, it is nighttime. We are making water. We are filtering. We are cooling there. Good. We are cooling there. We're not cooling here. That's perfect. So you are condensing down now. The water valve should be on. It is. Now that is very cold. This is that this very hot water. But I connected this one wrong. That's a problem. So I need to deconstruct that because that's a gas and gas. I need a gas and liquid. Come here. I need gas and liquid. Liquid, liquid, gas, 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 liquid. That's on the wrong side. I mean, I can still make it work, but that's annoying. I'm gonna need to put you there, and then I need to put you up and over. I think the problem is that I don't have the insulated liquid pipes to connect that. You're gonna have to go down and under. Thirsty again? Never ending with you. Okay, so you are my liquid connection. You're gonna go down there. We'll connect you up underneath there. Then you need to go up and over. Come this way. Come this way. Now go down. And connect there. Pretty sure I don't have any liquid pipes anywhere, so that's a little unfortunate. Can't really do anything with that water right now anyways, because it's too hot, so we'll just grab some of you guys. This way, you go down, and one more. Bam. Alright, now I need a pipe, wrench. You're good. Now weld that sheet back in there. And you should be working. Okay. Okay. Are we cooling water down? We are cooling water down. That's exactly what we want. Now, I don't think we're going to get to 50 liters. Definitely not getting to 50 liters. But it's a start, I guess. Or just really hot oxygen. Okay, so this guy is only 16 liters at 900 moles, and we have like 188 moles out there, so I've got like maybe enough water out there to fill up a water bottle. Yikes. But we're making water. One potato. Well, Mr. Potato, I do not want you to harvest, so when I am hungry, I am going to eat you. And I'm actually going to go ahead and pluck you now. Put you in there. Plant a new one. It's a big black hole. We are getting close to winter time. Hello. You want to sell me a bunch of stuff I don't need. You want to buy a bunch of alloys I can't really afford to give you. So get on out of here. Alright, now we can't put a volume pump out here. Is that the right side? It is. I guess it doesn't matter which side I put it on. We'll put it here so I can run the cable down. You there, put you there, you there. Okay. There we go. One to go that way, and we need one on top. There we go. Now let's get some more silicon, then we can just run that around. Run that all the way around. Got a storm incoming. Alright, so doing good. We've made some water. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this here. Accomplished what I wanted to accomplish today. We have started to cool down some water. It's not a lot, but it's something. So a whopping 4 liters out of the 50 that we originally had our goal set for. But hey, 5 liters is 5 liters. We still have a bunch of moles that we still need to cool down. The AC should take care of that tomorrow. We are not making a lot of oxygen. We're underneath or right above our minimum target there. I could lower that a little bit, I think, maybe. I just don't want to run out of oxygen for myself. That would be a problem. So, yeah, we're slowly making water. This atmospheric patio contraption is surprisingly working. We had a few bugs that get worked out. But overall, I think we're in a good shape. Anyways, thanks for joining me today, and I will see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.